little update concerning what we're working on and really coming off of the work we did with the Color Factory, which I've just been so excited with that. It's been so powerful for design. What we're working on now is we're developing and we're working in 3D modeling and all kinds of things to develop design elements that bring a 3D perspective or some perspective aspect into design. So it looks more like something that has form to it as opposed to just flat vector. Something that you can use to really take your designs to another level. And that is really because one of the basic principles of art is that anything that has perspective added to it has more pop automatically than just flat art. Now there's a place for vector and all that stuff, obviously. But you can see here what I've done is I've taken these flame elements and I've been working, there's going to be many different elements, but I've been working in the tribal arena here in Vector for the export out to the 3D models and all the work that we're doing. But you come in here and take a look at this, you can see that this has an element of a chromatic look to it or a metallic look to it, even though it's flames. But yet, because we're working with the duotone and the monochrome, I can take this and make it look like chrome flames very easily instead of just flat vector. Now you could do this in vector, but you'd have thousands of objects and it'd be a lot more work. For example, I'll take this and I'll change that to a white fill. Then I'll select the object inside and I'll right click and change that to a gray. Now I've got a metallic chrome look on those flames. And we've got the dimension coming out of the flames. They're not just flat. So you can see where we can go with this when we get into all kinds of elements. I mean, we're working with lightning, flames, realistic flames, flame graphics. We're getting into all kinds of sports stuff like shields and banners and different things you can use for your designs. And we've got a huge list of assets we'll be developing based on working with this new technique coming off of working with the Color Factory to create these. And that's a great thing about the Color Factory. It makes it very easy to make these because I just started out with this bitmap here. I do the conversion to the duotone or the monochrome, and then I can power clip that back into the original vector, and then I can work with the color. And I could go to, let's say we want something kind of really popish in the yellow and green arena. I could fill that with, let's say, a green, then select the inside contents, right click, change that to a yellow, and now look at the look that I get. Just incredible looks coming off of these 4 design assets in the graphic design arena. And we're looking forward to getting all these together and getting these out. And I believe we're going to have a new plugin called the Chromatic Designer, which is probably going to be a twin or a perfect side-by-side asset with the Color Factory, because this is really coming off of the Color Factory. I converted it with the Color Factory once I set up the effects on it. And we've been, like I said, working with 3D modeling and things like that, so we can take these and add even more depth to them once we get them into the 3D applications, put the effects on them, add the materials, render them, then bring them back into the vector. In some cases, once we change them in 3D, we have to retrace them into the vector, but once they're like a vector element, you've got an entirely new style of design element in Corel Draw that really hasn't existed before. And that's what we're working on now.